right. Good afternoon and welcome to our Guild Wars 2 artist Q&A. First of all, I'm going to have everyone up at the table introduce themselves and talk about a little bit of what they do at ArenaNet. And then I'll ask them a few questions, and then anyone in the audience, feel free to raise your hand, and I'll come up to you and you can ask a question. So let's start with Kristen.
Hello, my name is Kristen Perry, and I'm a character artist over at ArenaNet. Anything that we do over in the character art department during the day is anything between concept art for creating the look of the armors and NPCs themselves, to actually building them and modeling them, rigging, throwing it in game, and of course, as we all love, bug fixing. So a little of everything. Our department can do NPCs. Our department can do main characters, the player characters, anything that you would do for the different races and so forth. And yeah, that's us.
I'm Matt Barrett, and I'm a concept artist, and I pretty much draw anything that she doesn't draw. So creatures, architecture, environments, pretty much anything that needs to be drawn, I draw it.
Hello, I'm Kekai Kotaki, and I'm the concept art lead at ArenaNet. What I do is basically, well, I'm in charge of Matt, and then if you look at our concept art art elf book, that's basically what I do. And then also my art is featured on top of our trailer, and that's about it. So.
Cool. Okay. Kekai, how long does it take for you to draw those awesome concept art that we see in the trailer, and what kind of programs do you use for that?
It depends on how long it is. Depending on the idea or the concept of it, it could either take half a day to either a week, depending on if the idea is right, or I need to change something, or it's not fitting the design well enough. So that's like, I can do it in like average about a day. I try to crank out something at least once a day. So that's what my personal rule is. And all my stuff is done in Photoshop on the computer with a Wacom tablet. And that's about it.
Okay, Matt, what kind of education do you need to become a concept artist?
Well, obviously you need art education and life drawing and things like that. But you also need, as your education, you need to educate yourself, which is independent study of everything. Anything you're possibly going to be drawing, you're going to be using it. You're going to be basically creating a world. So you need to know how things in the world work and how what they look like. So studying biology, evolution, architecture, just everything.
Kristen, you work a lot on the armor and clothes, and how do you actually come up with a new armor design from scratch? Like, what kind of research process do you go? Like, can you explain about what kind of things you do?
Well, we do work from scratch, but largely we also work from whatever the content team and design needs us to create for a specific location or for a certain type of race or for a certain culture. So I wouldn't say that everything was 100% by scratch, but we say, okay, we need a human, noble, rebel sort of armor, just to use the most generic of terms. For that, I would look into the silhouette first. One of the things that is most recognizable about any character in the game is their silhouette, and this is probably the most overlooked by a lot of artists, is because you're going to be playing something that's probably about that big on the screen. So you need to be able to recognize what you are next to something else that's this big on the screen, and that's going to be largely a silhouette change. So if it was going to be nobility, then that's going to, it's the rebellious sort, then more than likely that's going to say that it's an armor that is probably close to the body, because the rebels would probably be a little less funded, as it were, even if it was fun than that. So asymmetry would probably describe them really well. And that would also describe something that is a little bit more important. So for that, definitely look at the silhouette. Make sure that things feel tightly and useful to the body. It isn't a lot of rags and rips and things that will break up the overall shape. So once you come up with sort of the overall silhouette feel to it, then start breaking apart what these pieces actually function as. Maybe it's going to be plate armor. Maybe it's going to be leather. Maybe it's going to be tightly woven cloth and so forth. So breaking it down by function and need, and then designing the materials and the use off of that actually really helps in kind of narrowing down. So you're not working from scratch. You just have to, by reason of logic, work down to whittle what is the most appropriate to design those elements of the character. And by that time, you might get everywhere. It's like, oh no, it's thatched reed that is braided together with beads, and you never would have thought about that at the very beginning, had you not thought about what the character needs and what shapes and proportions represent those shapes or represent what that character could be. So it's just sort of a line of deduction.
Kekai, so we've all been seeing this awesome Guild Wars 2 trailer that was released and that we have playing at the booth. You did a lot of art for the trailer. Can you talk about that? How was the process from translating the art from concept and?
Well, it all begins with the script and what we wanted from this trailer, which was we were just gonna put the best stuff out there. We wanted to tell a story, show the characters. So basically, all the pictures and the paintings and the illustrations I did were all based off of all these the script that we wanted to do for this trailer. Basically, it went through this normal process of a normal concept I would do. I'll get it reviewed, I'll paint it, I'll redo it until we get some sort of finished product. But then there's also the added work of actually making this ready for actual animation within After Effects, which basically means that I had to cut out all these different elements inside my paintings so each one could be animated and move. I believe that the highest one was 80 different elements within one illustration. I think that was one of the battle scenes, and there's really a lot of flags that I drew in that one. But each one has to be cut out separately, so a little flutter, even though you can't even see it, it's fluttering that are in the background. And this is all part of the attention to detail that we believe in Arenanet. This is that we try to strive for to be the best no matter what we do. But other than that, waiting time, it took about a week maybe for one shot to get done, because it would take me about a day or 2 or 3 for me to finish a painting, get all prepped work, and then my buddy of mine, Matthew Altwell, or After Effects guru, he needed a couple days to actually get this stuff, get the shot animated, and so it took about a week for each shot, and plus that, and then we had to wait some more, and then be another 2 or 3 weeks to get all these different elements all together and put together into this wonderful trailer that we put out there. And I'm very happy that it was received so well, and it makes me very happy and glad and relieved that all of my hard work has been appreciated so much. So thank you.
Just a reminder, if anyone in the audience has any questions, please let me know, and I'll come to you with the mic.